Shri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namaha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, O King Parikshit, the mercy of the Supreme Lord is showering everywhere equally, is present everywhere. And on everyone. But only those who are eligible to receive the mercy of the Supreme Lord, they obtain it and experience it. The eligibility of receiving mercy of the Supreme Lord comes by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Means by the blessings of the Supreme Lord only, a person becomes eligible to receive the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Even though mercy of the Lord is showering everywhere, those who are unfortunate, they remain ineligible to receive the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Just as rain falls everywhere, but nothing grows on the unfertile or desert land, but you see green grass and crops growing in the fertile land. Similarly, those who are unfortunate, mercy of the Supreme Lord is not realized by them, but those who are lucky and fortunate, meritorious from past birth, they experience and realize it. No changes take place in unlucky person. Cannot change their destination after death. What happens to them, they cannot change because they cannot realize the mercy who wanders in the form of a devotee on this planet to take his words to the heart. They cannot. The saint is a mercy of the Supreme Lord for everyone in this world, but only those who are meritorious from past birth, they take their association. Those who are sinners from this and past birth, they think the real devotee to be lazy, stupid, making a show and whatnot. They cannot obtain help from association of a pure devotee. Without presence of a pure devotee and a pure Brahmin, the earth will sink. Universe is sustained and carried by a pure devotee's presence and the presence of a real traditional pure Brahmana. As long as they are on the planet Earth will not sink. From the time of creation, they are existing and will carry on existing on the earth until annihilation. That's why earth is available today for us to live, because of them only. Only those who are fortunate, they are able to see and recognize a pure devotee and a pure Brahmin. Others cannot. They cannot understand who the real sadhu is and how to take their words to the heart. Because real sadhu does not expose externally their purity. They keep their purity inside their heart. But luckily, the king of Swāmī, Rahugana, his name was Rahugana, King Rahugana, he recognized the saintliness of Jada Bharat. Because Rahugana was learned and had associated with pure devotees and heard them enough. That's why he could recognize his purity. And Jada Bharat also recognized King Rahugana as appropriate and eligible worthy person to hear the transcendental knowledge. That's why he rewarded transcendental knowledge to King Rahugana. Jada Bharat was used as a sacrificial human animal before Kali by Sudra dacoits we had discussed previously. Even goddess Kali was scared of the purity of a pure devotee. That's why she burst open the deity and came out and killed all the dacoits and protected pure devotee Bharat. When all the dacoits were killed, Bharat Maharaj stood up and casually left the temple, Kali temple, and moved around like a wild, free bull everywhere. And while moving around, he reached on the bank of Ikhyumati river. There is a river, Ikhyumati, running in Bihar somewhere, northeast to Vrindavan. By destiny, due to some fortune, king of Swāmī, King Rahugana, also reached there, climbed on the palanquin. King was aware about devotional life and purity of saintly people and how to learn about spiritual life from saintly people. He knew the process. He was on the way from his kingdom to the ashram of Kapila Muni, Kapila Dev. On the way was Ikhyumati river. He was going to Kapila Deva's ashram to inquire about absolute truth. He wanted to know the real truth, the goal of human life. He wanted to know who is that person who should be served by a human being while existing in this world. Who is that one person to whom he should dedicate as a human being his life to obtain the desired goal of human birth? Something like that. He was going to Kapila Deva's ashram. In those days, kings would go either climbed upon a chariot or climbed on a palanquin. Palanquin was more easy and resting, very pleasing ride. So king was carried in palanquin by his servant carriers. The carriers were employees, and king had village to village and town to town, city to city, everywhere carriers, monthly paid since generations. They're bound to carry palanquin of the king from one village to another village, and from that village they come back to their home, and the new carriers from that village will carry forward to another village. Like that, village to village, king had carriers, paid employees who would carry his palanquin. They were responsible to carry because they're employed of the king. They would carry and make sure the palanquin reaches its destination properly. That is their responsibility. But sometimes some volunteers would come due to love for the king and carry the palanquin for some distance, short distance, something like that. So when king's palanquin reached on the bank of Ikshumati river, those who brought to the Ikshumati river bank, their duty to carry palanquin expired. So new fellows from that village must carry the palanquin forward. So what happened? Carriers came, they were all, means carriers were Sudras, lowborns. They would carry the palanquin. Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas don't carry, did not carry. Maybe due to love, some Vaishya and Kshatriya carried, but not as a paid servants. So one carrier, because there are four in the front and four in the back, 8 people carry. I have seen palanquins in India, very nicely carried. We carried our Guru's palanquin when he departed. I was there. I carried too. My Guru's palanquin had only one big stick. So 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Supposed to have 2 sticks. Like we have our palanquin, we carry Kṛṣṇa around the temple. 1 stick this way, 1 stick that way. And so 2 persons here, 2 persons here, 2 persons there, 2 persons there. 8 people. So one did not show up due to some reason. So seeing this, the constables, or you call guards of the king, searched around for a carrier. The condition to carry palanquin is that it must be young man, stout, strong, bodily built, and lowborn. Usually, lowborns, they don't look like high class. Externally you can recognize they look not very high class like that. So searched everywhere, they found Jada Bharat, strongly built, stout, young man. And wearing not very clean clothes and all looking like a Sudra like that, and dull, not very active. So they thought this is appropriate person to carry the palanquin as bull takes the cart forward. They thought him to be like a bull, so strong built. They pushed Jada Bharat to carry the palanquin, and engaged him to do that. Sukadeva Goswami says, O King Parikshit, Jad Bharat was not eligible, not worthy to carry palanquin because he was a Brahmin. But because the constables pushed him harshly to carry the palanquin without responding to them, Jad Bharat engaged in carrying the palanquin. The constables, the servants of the king, thought he's just a Sudra and he's an appropriate person. Why we cannot engage him? They're thinking themselves, we should engage him, no problem. They gave him a stick and told him to carry. Jad Bharat never carried palanquin before, as his associates engaged in carrying the palanquin. That is their habit of carrying palanquin. They're carrying since generations. They know how to carry it. And they are all Sudra born. And he is a Brahmin born. So he is a pure devotee. He did not know how to carry. And being a pure devotee don't believe in any kind of violence. So while walking, the constables also did not ask who he was, because Jad Bharat looked not like a Brahmin. So they did not ask him who he was. They only estimated that Jad Bharat is just a Sudra, another Sudra, and a strong belt is appropriate to use like that. Jad Bharat was pure devotee inside, but externally looked like a Sudra, acted like a crazy man, dull, deaf, dumb, and all that. He would respect, as a pure devotee, every living entity. That is the nature of a pure devotee. He don't want to commit any violence. Nowadays, they cannot tolerate a more advanced devotee. They want to put him down. They would not resist even harming him physically. Such kind of Kali Yuga has come at present. And such kind of devotees, they have become like that. So, Jad Bharat would watch 3 feet ahead of him and see if there are any ants. And if he see any ants, he would jump over the ant. So when he jumped, the palanquin jerked. Because it jerked, king felt inside was king and it felt uneasy. It's natural. And he would look down if there are ants. So the palanquin also tilt. And then if he sees any ants moving, he jump. So king was very upset inside. And he said, walk a little carefully, walk a little easy. I'm feeling jerked inside. There is very uneasy inside. I'm experiencing not good. Can you please walk a little more better? When these professional carriers heard this, and they're salary paid, they're paid people. They draw salary each month. Even though each month don't come, king don't come. That way, still they get paid. So they were scared of the king's statement. Being scared, they responded, Sire, it is not we who are shaking and jerking the palanquin. It is the new one who has been engaged today, he is making it do like that. We respect you, we honor you, we have full faith in you. We would not do such thing. We have carried you many, many occasions, many times. We are not doing this. The king was also very intelligent and thoughtful person. Therefore, he thought, due to one person's mistake, everyone is getting a bad name. It's only due to associated with that person, that unwanted actor, which is true. I think it was yesterday or day before, there was talk going on in front of me saying that if somebody is involved in some kind of crime and that person drove that person to that place to commit that crime, it was talking about a bank looting. So a person who drove that person to commit the crime, looting the bank, and he returned looted money and drove back, the driver did not commit the looting. He only just drove back and forth. But when the looter is caught, the driver is also punished. Maybe punished lesser than the looter, but is surely punished. So similarly, one person's fault, those who are involved with him also get punishment, criticism. The king found that the front carrier man is the problem. And he is walking, stepping, jumping up and down and bending down to look the ground, something like that. The king saw himself because he opened the curtain. And king became angry. King himself was a devotee. He had associated with the devotees. He knew the value of devotion. He knew how one should not become angry due to some material affairs, some material problem. Should not keep revengeful thought within. Still, because he was a Kshatriya, that's why he got overpowered by passion and became angry. You might remember we had spoken about King Parikshit previously. That King Parikshit was a saintly king and great-grandchild of Pandavas. No, grandchild of Pandavas, a pure devotee, related, family relation with Lord Kṛṣṇa himself, and a pure devotee himself. Before birth, he was a pure devotee. He had seen God face to face. Kṛṣṇa is God. He saw him inside the womb and outside. Such a great devotee. When he went hunting, he reached Samīk Muni's ashram. Samīk was performing austerity, tapasya, with closed eyes, and king was thirsty. And he saw the saint sitting there in meditation, closed eyes. And king asked for water. And he saw no response from the sage because he was unconscious, externally unaware of anything. So king, because he was a royal king, a Kshatriya by nature, he was overpowered by anger, upsetness, and he thought, oh, this sage is making a show of meditation, don't want to serve me because I am a Kshatriya and he's a Brahmin. He thought this way and took a dead snake and put all around his neck to know if he is in meditation or he's just making a show. Just to know that much. Just to find out if it's a fake meditation. He took a dead snake with his arrow front and put it around the neck. The body of snake is very, very smooth, soft. Anybody can feel it. But the sage did not feel nothing because he was not aware of external affairs. After putting that snake around the neck of that meditating sage, king returned to his place. So why we brought this example? To make you understand that King Rahugana was also saintly. But because he was a Kshatriya, he got overpowered by passion and became angry on a devotee. And spoke sarcastically to Jad Bharat for his jumping up and down, protecting the ants. He said sarcastically, usually devotees don't become sarcastic, not supposed to. Dealing sarcastically with the devotee is an offense. King will realize later on, we will talk a few days about this. He said, oh, you seem like you are a prince, your tender body. You are lean and thin, skinny, look like you are occupied by old age, or you are carrying alone this whole palanquin. Nobody is helping you, assisting you to carry this. Oh, you really are tired. You need rest. King saw Jad Bharat is not old, is young, strong and stoutly built body. He just got engaged from Indumati river back. He just got engaged in carrying this. King knew that. But because he was by nature, I remember this. I asked one day, long ago, Lochan Das, my devotee American. I also asked Nand Kumar, but he's no more there, so same thing I asked him too. I did not ask Mukunda yet, because he's householder, so I don't ask these things. These people are not married, so I asked, how come you are with me for so long, about 30, 25 years now? Those days, now so 33 years. Those days, 20 years over now with me, and you act like, non-devotee. So Lochan said, Swamiji, what can we do? We are born in the wrong part of the world and trained wrongly from birth. Swamiji, we do not do these acts knowingly. We don't want to tease you in any way. But what can we do, Swamiji? We are trained like this, so it happens automatically, even though we don't want it to do this way. Like a snake, if you break the fangs, but you cannot make him walk right, move right, he will go crooked way. So it happened, he not supposed to talk like this, but because he's habituated to do that, he spoke sarcastically to Jad Bharat. Very offensive, being sarcastic towards a devotee. Jad Bharat heard the sarcastic remarks of king, but did not respond in any way, kept quiet. And did not even feel upset by hearing such, because pure devotee. Bharat knew that body-mind is different from the soul, the Atma is different. And plus, he was very advanced on spiritual path. Therefore, these kinds of remarks did not affect him in any way. Body is made with 5 material elements, therefore it is just an inert matter. As long as the soul is inside, body is functioning. So soul is causing the inert matter to move. So feeling upset is not right because soul is not affected by his sarcastic thoughts. Bharat wanted to protect, not kill the ants moving on the ground. We don't care. That's why pure devotees don't go around parikrama, circumvallation of Vrindavan or Govardhan or any holy place, because they may step over an ant. Many people go on Ekadasi, don't go other days, fasting days, they want to go around circumvallation thinking it's bringing more purity. There are 2 ways of thinking. One way is don't want to go on a fasting day because you may step over an ant and may die. But others, they're thinking today's auspicious day, fasting day, we must go around circumambulating the place, holy place, like that. So 2 ways of thinking. Who is right? Both are right. Who is more right? The person who don't want to step over a living entity and kill him on the fasting day, like that. But he is also not wrong. But don't reap that much merit as much as this devotee who is not going around due to killing an ant or a living entity on a fasting day, like that. He kept quiet, Bharat, and carried on forwarding the palanquin. But in the similar way as he was carrying on previously. He was jumping over the ants, looking to the ants. If there is an ant, sometimes cannot be seen. So you would bend down. So palanquin is having disturbance. So the king became very angry and chastised, this time directly, saying, "Oh, you, do you want to live? You look like a dead man walking at present. Do you know, I can punish you as much as Yamaraj. Yamaraj punishes everyone, brings death. I will punish you to cut you so you can carry my palanquin forward properly. Do you know you are my subject, I'm your king, you're supposed to follow my orders? You are insulting me by not following my orders." It is true. How to insult Guru? By not following his orders. That is insult to Guru. How to insult a king? By not following his orders properly. That is insult. But nowadays, many kinds of insult is here. Even though this is insult, they want to do worse. This is Kali Yuga. So no problem. So being passionate, king chastised heavily. And all these messengers, or all these servants and constables and carriers, other carriers are also listening. The constables wanted to punish the Bharat, but because king was still speaking to him, that's why they can't do nothing. You have insulted me. Greatly I am insulted, he said. Bharat was internally Kṛṣṇa conscious, thoroughly seeing Lord Kṛṣṇa properly. externally he was acting the way others misunderstood him. Sarva devata ved-vido brahmane vasanti. All the demigods reside in Brahmin, pure Brahmin who is learned in the Vedas, who is authorized to study the Vedas. Such a Brahmin. All the demigods reside. That is scriptural evidence. So, born in a Brahmin family, in Angira tradition, one of the sons of born out of Lord Brahma, Bharat, understood that the spiritual life and understanding of scriptures and behaving with a saintly person, the intelligence of the king is not ripened, is still immature, not mature. But he understood that king is overpowered by passion due to his birth background called Kshatriya. But he is saintly. So Bharat smiled without any ego, smiled at the king Rahugana, and without any ego spoke to him mercifully. Thank you very much.